Welcome. It's your boy Carcino here, and welcome back, Screen Fiend fans, as this is the Sing Sing movie review. Now, Sing Sing sounds like a movie that it's a prison movie, and mostly prison movies, you're like, okay, it's gonna be violent, and it starts off as something you probably have seen before, right? Until you actually watch it. And if you read the synopsis of it, you think it's just like any other movie, but it is totally not. It's very different. It's about prisoners who are improving themselves as human beings. And this is based on real life people. They've written articles about this 20 years ago. The Sing Sing Follies. And normally, okay, you see people enlighten themselves or change what they're doing. It's like, okay, I get it. Prisoners changing, but it was from a whole different perspective. You have the actor Domingo, who plays Divine G, one of the real people who went through this program where they use plays, like an actual play, to get them back into rehabilitating themselves to go back into the world. You would like, this is crazy, but it was just the recreation they needed, and Divine G was an actor, an inspiring playwright when he was in high school before his life went off the rails. And then he ended up being a devotee to the theater because he loved the arts. He loved to act, read plays, and approach it all with a quiet fever. Some they've forgotten about. So while he's there, he's faced with a guy that seems like he wants to physically fight everybody and imitate them, intimidate them and take their money and all this different stuff that's going on, And some of the most memorable things that happen in there is the close-up shots, like you see in the thumbnail of Domingo's face, who plays Divine G, and a lot of the close-up shots of the other inmates who were doing these plays. And the most alarming thing, or most shocking and surprising thing about it, is the very end, when you find out that these inmates, the people that's playing in these roles in the movie, are actually prisoners in jail that was in this program. Like they were playing themselves in the movie. And I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Prisoners are making movies? So I was blown away that those were the real people that was actually in it. Some actors are in, like Domingo and things of that nature, but the rest of them were prisoners. Well, you start to see the realities of what they do. Cells are getting tossed by the guards, and not in a heatless manner to find objects, to make sure they're not hurting people. That would be a bonus. They do that to humiliate and terrorize the prisoners, to keep them in fear of the guards. So when the theater program started from its oasis, from all of that, they wanted to be human again. They wanted to find their humanity, their dignity, to be enlightened, to demonstrate a show in front of people. And it brings down a lot of people's fear of them being prisoners. And they did plays throughout this movie, and they were working on a big play. And you start to figure out that there's an intense sense of a dynamic edginess to the film that, you start to get a more of fundamental look at reflectiveness of life, because Divine G was an innocent man who went to jail for a crime that he didn't commit. And unfortunately for him, the person who did it was out, and out and about still doing crimes. And he wasn't about to turn himself in. But when they got the information to get the guy that did it in this armed robbery or whatever, right. You go there, you find out your purpose, you start reading law books because to defend yourself in the situation, then you start seeing there's a lot of politics that go behind certain elements in keeping Black people behind jails. They don't care about guilty or innocent. Sing Sing came out months ago, and I thought I did this movie review, and I found out that I didn't. I was like, wow, I didn't even do the movie review. That's crazy of me. But I probably was so busy and got submerged. But it was one of those films that when you see it, it's a collective mental, hum for an audience to recognize what the movie is up to. It's a few beats after it starts. You go down a certain path, and then you figure out what it's doing, and then you just start targeting it from there. So, it's just like, this is what it was meant to be. Something that was, it was pretty much unique. Clarence Macklin, Coleman Domingo, who plays Divine G, was epic in here. Everybody goes through a mental fight and a mental struggle. Even when you think you've uplifted yourself, you can still have things that have happen around you that'll bring you back down to, I won't say normal, because none of this is normal, but it can break you down spiritually. So it takes a lot to maintain that foundation, that drive to keep going up. This is a 4-star movie out of 4 for Sing Sing. It's a very powerful movie. And if you know anybody who went through the prison system, you could relate. So definitely a great movie. If your thing is Marvel superhero movies, and that's just what you do. It might not be your cup of tea, but yes, definitely we need movies like this. Movies with meaning, purpose, brings us back to the reality of things that we choose to ignore in our everyday walk of life. So thank y'all. Don't forget to subscribe, become a member so we can get you some, members only content. Appreciate y'all. Love.